Let me clear one thing first. I'm not a great storyteller, but I have been reading a lot of books about storytelling and I have been watching a lot of videos and articles. And recently I read this amazing book by Matthew Dix. It is called Storyworthy. This book is suggested highly by Ali Abdal, and I thought, okay, let's just read the book. When I read it, I understood that there are lots of storytelling mistakes that I have been doing for a long period of time. The moment I think about that I will be a storyteller, I will be telling stories during my podcast and also on the videos. I find out that a lot of mistakes that I have been doing, I have find these mistakes from the articles and the videos and also this book called The Storyworthy, and the book link is the description of this podcast, so I'm sure you will enjoy it. In this podcast I'm going to tell you 5 mistakes that every storyteller, or if you are an aspiring storyteller like me, obviously make always. So let's get started. The number one mistake that I used to do is that I used to feel that I need to say something very amazing and unique things on my through my story, right? And I used to feel that I need to come up with a lot of great ideas where people will be invoked to take actions and they will find it unique. They never heard it anywhere. This kind of story, and I was really feel that okay, that kind of expertise I don't have, and I used to feel clueless. I used to feel that, oh, okay, I can't be a great storyteller. Maybe I'm not for this. Then I find out that every great storyteller has this common thing. They convey common and simple things very easily. They do not try to find out the most unique stuff through their story. They say the common things which can relate with a lot of people. If you go to the TED Talks, if you listen to them, you will see that every great storyteller is telling you the common thing which we face day to day life, right? Because we can resonate with that, we can feel that, okay, we can be on that storyteller's place and understand what's going on because it is so common, right? So you don't need to say something unique. Keep your story simple and convey the common emotions or stuff through your story. The second thing I always do, actually I do it still, is that sometimes I just tell stories without any structure, and it happens with new kind of storyteller, so I don't feel bad about it, right? So what really happens is that if you tell a story, even though if you have a great story and if you're following every rules on the book, and but it does not have any structure, people are not going to connect because they're going to feel a disconnect at some point of time, because you're jumping from one destination to other destination without any sort of goal. Even though if you have a goal, people are not going to, audience are not going to feel it, right? So for that you need to have a structure. If you see great movies by Pixar, they also have a structure. So I can create a dedicated podcast about structure. If you want that, you can just message me. But obviously your story needs a structure, a problem, a hero who is solving the problem, and also and solution and the conclusion, right? There can be a different kind of structures which for Pixar also follows these different structures, so it can be a different podcast itself. But obviously your story needs a structure. You can't really jump from one place to another, right? And the third mistakes that I always do is that I used to think that, okay, I need to say something great, like at the end of the story there needs to be a climax or something which just changes everything. There needs to be kick us something that, okay, our hero did something at the end of the story. But it's not. People are really crazy for an underdog, and obviously people care more about the journey over the destination. Think about it. When you're watching a movie, are you watching that only the climax, that hey, hero killed the villain and he just become the hero and everyone is just like, wow, you just save us, right? It does not happen. That's the conclusion. That's where you leave the cinema hall, right? What you see is the process, the journey, how what kind of problems the heroes face, how he go through it, solve it, and comes and another problem comes and he also solve it. This is called a story. So you should always focus on the journey over destination. And the fourth mistake I afraid to do is that challenging readers. I used to think that, okay, everyone who is reading things, if I'm writing something on the social media, if I am just saying something on the podcast through a story, I used to feel that if I challenge the readers, people are going to offend, right? And yes, they will do. Sometimes they will do. They may offend. They may get offended, and they may tell you something. Maybe they scold you or something. But here is the thing. You need to challenge. You need to challenge people through your story. You need to challenge their perception, that how they are thinking. If you can do that, they can connect with your story. They will think about you. They will start think about your story in a rationally. Maybe you will feel clarity about from their comments and stuff, right? So you need to challenge your readers, because if you there are lots of things in today's world which a lot of a group does not resonate with, and there are some groups that resonate with it. So you can challenge people to think differently through your story, right? And do not have this fear on your mind that people are going to get offended or something. People will get offended with you, in any way. No matter what you do, if you're doing something great, people will get offended as well, right? So don't worry about it. Challenge the perception of your reader or your listener, right? And the fifth mistake that I still sometimes do is that I think that I need to be a great storyteller to actually tell stories, right? So what I used to feel that, okay, I need to read a lot of books on the storytelling. I need to watch a lot of storytellers, how they are delivering their speech and stuff. But it does not matter, guys, because the more you practice, and honestly speaking, this is I'm telling you by the personal experiences. I'm not a great storyteller, I just said it on the first beginning, but the more I actually tell things over the camera or the podcast, I feel confident. I feel that, okay, there are something is actually building up. Maybe my story is not that concrete, or maybe it does not sound like a very cool thing or something, but I am getting a lot of clarity on my mind, and the more I tell my story, it becomes better. So do not shy away from practicing storytelling. If you have a story, just tell this. Do not think about structure, and I need to structure it, I need to say the common things, I need to keep my readers or listener focused. Don't worry, just practice. That you need to practice. The more you practice storytelling, the more you become better at it. So that's it for today's podcast. If you like this podcast, don't forget to give 5 stars from wherever you are listening to, and don't forget to subscribe as well. And if you have any query or message, or if you find anything that resonates with you, or if you have any message, please do reach out to us via ImpleBooks at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. So that's it for today. Have a great day.